डर खुशी रास्ते कच्ची बातें सच्चे वास्ते कहीं पे इन सब में कहाँ हूँ मैं. Hi everyone, this is Jonitha Gandhi and welcome to Museekmag. Music for me started in the womb. I got my talent from mostly my dad. He's a musician by hobby. So growing up around the house, I would always hear music around the house, and especially Indian music. And slowly, I would start practicing Hindi songs and performing them with my dad with our family band at events all across the GTA, which is the Greater Toronto area around Toronto. Bollywood has been part of my life actually for a long time. I don't know if everyone knows this, but I think it's pretty obvious. Bollywood is huge outside of India as well. So I grew up in Brampton, Mississauga and Brampton, which are just outside of Toronto, and there's a huge Indian population there, and everybody knows what Bollywood is, whether you're Indian or not, I feel, at this point. So I've been exposed to Bollywood films since I was a very young kid, and Bollywood music, again, just growing up, I would hear it all the time around the house. But it wasn't until a couple of years ago that I actually came to Bollywood and saw what it's really about. I actually am not fully trained in music. I wish I was. But I grew up planning to be actually a doctor, which didn't happen. But I wrote my MCAT and everything. So initially I was thinking, I didn't know what I wanted to do. Music was just a hobby. And I would sing on weekends and do whatever I could on the side while I was studying. But my primary focus was always my school, and that's something my parents have really instilled in me to make sure I finish my education before I delve into music. Unfortunately, I didn't take up music full-time as studies, but I did learn on the side. I went to this school called the Ontario Conservatory of Music, and there I learned Western classical for a couple of years. So other than that, when I came to Bombay a couple of years ago, I started learning Hindustani and doing some vocal exercises with T.selvakumar. I started putting up YouTube videos, I think in 2000, I don't remember, probably 7 years ago or something. It was when I discovered a YouTube channel called 88 Keys to Euphoria, which is run by A.R.Rahman, who's a friend of mine now, thanks to his channel. So I discovered his channel and really liked a lot of the covers that he had been recording and putting out. And we ended up collaborating. He sent me a piano track and I really loved it and was inspired. I sang that night, the day I got it. I just sang on it, sent it back. He liked it. He got another artist named Sahil Khan to add flute. And we just put it out on YouTube and we had an amazing response. And that's when we realized there's really a lot of people who want to hear this, who want to hear our versions of existing songs. A lot of English artists had already been starting the whole cover culture, doing a lot of covers on YouTube. But at that time, there weren't hardly any Indians doing that. And I think we were one of the first collaborative efforts out there on YouTube, making Indian covers or Bollywood covers. So once we started getting a lot of good feedback for that, that's when we decided, okay, let's do more. And so we did another couple, and there was one song that we did, Vicky Donor. The song was called Bani Darang. And that song was doing really well at the time. So when we put out our version, it went viral, kind of. People in the industry also started retweeting it or seeing it. And we had people like Amitabh Bachchan who watched it, and we were just floored. Ayushmann Khurrana, the original singer-composer, he also saw it and liked it. So, and then also, the first cover we ever did was Ye Hausla, and that was composed by Salim Suleiman. Salim actually shared it. So once we started noticing that people in the industry were noticing it, we felt like, okay, maybe we're doing a good job. It's not just that everybody likes it, but musically also I think people are finding it rich. And yeah, so then that's how everything started on YouTube. And then I just kept going forward with that. And I'm really glad I did, because thanks to YouTube, I've met a lot of great people. And it's kind of how I met A.R. Sir too. My first release song with Sir was, I think, I'm not sure because they're all really close together, but I think it was from Ronak. It was a private album I did with him. The film song for him came out in the movie Highway, which is Kahan Hu Main, which is what I sang earlier. And the first song I ever recorded with him was actually Maloom, which is from a film called Lekar Hum Deewana Dil. Yeah, Mental Manadil was actually unplanned. I went to Panchatan in Chennai. I think my hunch is for a different project because, but that song wasn't ready or something was not ready about that song. So then I think Sir was like, oh, let's try a female version of this because Mental Manadil had already been recorded. Sir had already done the song. And I remember even the engineers were at the studio were unsure about this song, about there being a female version. So he called me into the studio and he's like, so, did you learn that song? And I'm like, oh yeah, sir, I learned the melody for this other song. He's like, no, let's do Mental Manadil. And I remember Srinidhi, she's one of the engineers there, she was like, but sir, that song's done. He's like, no, let's try a female version. So then I was like, yay, okay. And I heard the male version and I loved it. And I was so excited that I got to sing part of his version actually too. I got to sing a small portion in his version. And then I also got to sing the female version of the song. And it's an awesome song. So I'm really happy that happened. And I think the song and the film both were received very well. And it was also just a huge honor to be singing for the Mani Ratnam A.R.Rahman duo. Like I would never have expected that I'd be part of a project like that. So I'm super grateful. My second opportunity kind of doing a full-on concert with A.R. Sir. And this was like a full concert tour. So it was like back-to-back opportunities. And I was really lucky because I was the only female lead singer on that tour. So I got to sing in Hindi, Tamil, Telugu, English, French. I hope I'm not Punjabi, I think a little bit. But yeah, I hope I'm not missing anything. That was a huge opportunity for me to get exposure across North America with A.R. Sir. And even I got to perform in my hometown with my family in the audience in Toronto as part of A.R. Sir's band. And so everybody was really proud of me and it was just like euphoric, that experience. I learned so much being part of his band actually. He has, A.R. Sir is surrounded by the best. So whether it be, a musician or a technician or engineer, everybody was really, really awesome at what they do. And there was always something to learn from everybody in that team. So I'm super lucky to be part of that team. And after that, I think I've been part of almost every show that he's done since then. And every experience is just exhilarating. I don't know how to answer it. I just copy as best as I can. I have a great support network, to be honest. Anytime I record for Sir, and Sir is really patient. He lets us take a little bit of time to figure out the lyrics, you know what I mean, melody and all that stuff. He understands that it's not your first language. He does this a lot. He gets a lot of singers to sing in languages that they've never sang in or that they've never spoken in. So he really brings out the best in us, I feel, and we all feel super dedicated to get it right. So I think once everybody's on the same page that way, everybody has the same goal, it becomes easy. His team is there, again, to guide us, and anytime you say something wrong, they'll let you know and correct you. So, yeah. And I always try to make sure I write down the meaning of the song, generally vocal-based. Like I know how to treat vocals. I don't know how to mix or program or anything like that. But I find it all really interesting, and if I had more time to focus on that, I probably would.